I'm. How we're doing is quick.
You just said
Yes,
not to
good.
do it, huh?
Saying
Okay,
how-
bro. This is whatever, bro.
What we're not doing is how was the weekend?
How was your week? What's the difference?
Because that's like a whole story.
Listen, man, we are back with the Major Podcast, and this is episode
got Nike socks.
6.
No
this
way.
is
I could have changed it.
this is episode 6.
Say out Nike.
Hey, listen, we're back with Major
I wanted to
Podcast,
say.
where we talk about everything major. This is episode 6, man, and we are sponsored by the 24 Apparel, where you can find the hottest crop tops,
Big 24.
t-shirts, hoodies, etc. Go to the24store.com to
Our
find
code.
your 24. Check it. We're going to get straight into it. We have a very, very special guest today.
We do.
And what's going on my mind is like, why the hell is Ben dressed up so nice?
You just said it.
He's
We
not-
have a well. Hold on, because I don't like the fucking narrative when I came in here. Everybody it was all jokes, kiki. We have a very important,
We do.
special guest. He's
We do.
He's an high intellect individual. He's
a visionary mind.
He's a visionary
a
mind.
person we studied for a long time.
Come
A
on.
high level thinker.
Okay.
A futurist.
All right.
A global voice.
Get it off
For
So,
elevation, y'all.
Even more so, a reason for me to come in
Okay.
here with some slacks.
Okay.
With my nice matching belt. Tucked in.
Get some crew socks.
Let's talk about the socks.
The socks.
Yeah,
Okay,
the
let's talk about the socks. I didn't have.
Are absolutely
I didn't,
insane.
No, don't pump. Okay, stop playing shit.
The socks.
Them
are
socks
absolutely
I didn't have
crazy,
enough time to stop and get some.
The British
my
are
right,
coming.
my
The
right
British
socks.
Oh, Paul Revere outfit ass nigga.
But trust, I know.
He looks like a red coat.
Okay,
British.
okay.
Yeah, he
You
is
want to talk about
British.
fits?
Hold on.
Let's zoom into. No,
Hold on.
let's talk about fits.
No, real quick. I'm here with Benzo. I'm here with AJ
okay,
Hacho.
yes,
and I'm
sir.
here with Javon. Yeah. So I'm here with my brothers, man.
Yeah.
Like I said, we have a
Yeah,
special guest.
let's
I ain't gonna let
talk
you.
about fits.
I ain't
Let's
gonna let
pivot.
him cook.
Let's pivot.
Let's talk about
We have a
fits.
very special
They don't
guest,
like when I
man.
get a little upset.
Don't wink at the camera. This nigga's out.
Ready to pod.
Ready to pod.
Ready
Yep.
to pod.
Okay.
We almost
On
connected.
time.
Yep.
Ready to pod.
Right on time.
He was not on time.
He was not on time.
Yeah.
I was on time.
You were pretty late.
I was on God's timing.
Oh, sure.
Let's talk about
We had a
it.
good call. He said, "All right, y'all, I'm gonna be out of here." Late
This
as hell.
nigga gonna text us. I'm gonna be a little late. I'm gonna be there at 3. Nigga,
Yeah.
that's when we start.
Yeah, that's when we
What
start.
You mean a little late.
That's
You're
when we start.
a
Yeah,
little
Bro,
bit beyond
if
late.
you're not on time, you're late. What is this shit?
If you're on time, you're late.
If you're on time,
Yeah, if you're on time, what'd you just
if you're not
say?
early, you're late.
What'd you
Leak
just
was
say?
mad late for shit all through high school.
Nah, that's facts. Do you remember?
grown.
Not
bro.
just high school. Pretty recently.
He's
too.
still
Nah,
late.
bro, this nigga takes forever to come out his crib, bro. That shit's annoying.
No,
as fuck.
I hate
stop.
niggas like that.
No,
stop.
hold on.
It's 2 niggas that we know. One is him.
Yeah.
And you know the other one.
Who?
Orozco.
Yeah, I might see how you see how we both said it. Nah, this nigga Khalid was crazy, bro. How long he would take to get out of the crib.
I
Because
Like, what are you
Like
doing
that.
in there? I told you I was coming.
I used to pick him
Pause.
up from school. Yeah, all right. Like, I used to pick him up from
Oh,
school
shit.
type shit. Chill, bro. Chill. For school in the morning, bro. We'll already be running late, nigga. It'd be like 7 o'clock, bro. This nigga would take his sweet ass time. But like the crazy part is, like
We
5
would be late,
like
though.
no 5-10
I'm
minutes.
like, my
late.
bad. I'm like, my bad.
Hold up, like 5-10 minutes. This nigga will walk out, grab the trash can.
AJ, I forgot about this shit.
Like, bro,
I'm
like, bro,
gone.
what are you
What?
doing? I gotta
I
go
forgot
to
about this
school,
shit, bro.
The
Nigga
trash
walk
can is
out,
great.
brushing his teeth.
He didn't give a fuck. He's gotten better,
I'm like,
but
bro, we
I
gotta
have gotten
go.
better
He
at that,
hasn't
but
though.
I was
He
no, he
hasn't.
hasn't.
He has not
he
gotten
hasn't.
better at all.
Hey, but
Yeah.
look, like I said, man, we have
Yeah,
a
we got off
very,
track. We got off
very,
track.
very special guest today. I'm
Yeah.
so
What he
excited
said
for
last
this
night?
one.
Hey, we pod tomorrow.
Yeah, we potted tomorrow.
Wait, what?
Yeah, hella late notice.
Late
11
notice.
o'clock, yo.
Hey, look. That is the
19
testament of
tomorrow.
the squad. We make it happen on short
We do
notice.
make it
I
happen.
appreciate y'all for making this happen.
Wish my barber could have made short notice.
you see what I put on last minute?
Yeah, we do
Crew
see what
socks.
you put
The
on
only
last
thing.
minute.
Yo.
It's because y'all be having secret conversations without us.
Well, there was
that's
no
another
secret conversation.
That's
He
another
was in the-
pod.
He,
That's
he
another
got the
pod.
same text when
That-
y'all got
Yeah,
it.
I got.
That's
We
a whole
all.
That's
pod
another
within
Ben
pod.
got the same text when y'all got it.
Them
But
two.
without further ado, we about to
That's
get
a
into
whole
it, man.
30.
Check this out.
Read the 9, all of my bars, all of my raps, all of my hoes, top of the line, top of the class, top of the ranks. Big Tim Duncan, off to the bank. Big 3-4, I'm shacking the paint. My nigga swam, your nigga sank. Ayy.
Brother 19, how you doing, bro? 19 Keys is in the building on the Major Podcast, brother. How you doing today?
Man, peace to the guys, man. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling like myself, man. How y'all doing?
Blessed, bro.
Blessed.
Another Saturday, we get to talk to 19 Keys in the flesh, bro. I've been watching you for a really long time, so this is like I manifested this for real. You know, my guys know I've been sending them videos, sending them
Yes.
and stuff for a long time, so this is a good moment. My guys would agree.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's a big deal, bro. We appreciate you for doing this for sure. Big deal.
It's my honor being on here.
Man, so I'm gonna jump straight into it.
Being really, really, really big on ownership. That's something I'm trying to
get into myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to stand on that, really develop myself. So with you having 70 episodes, 70 million views, and having that, maintaining that ownership that you've been doing, what are some better ways that you think us as a people can still maintain our ownership while still collaborating and do business? You know what I'm saying? Real quick before in my ventures, I've kind of been seeing, you know, people may feel a way about you wanting to have a little bit of percentage of ownership instead of having 100% of nothing. You know what I'm saying? Or when you're doing these deals or whatever, and people feel a way about you trying to control your ownership or maintain it. So what are some better ways we can do that? And what are ways that you maintain it, you know?
Well, I mean, I just maintained it. Number one, keeping ownership is always pivotal and important. Knowing how to leverage ownership is important as well, right? And so the question becomes, number one, why do you want ownership, right? For me, myself, is more so about having control, right? I don't want anybody trying to water down my voice, my message, right? My likeness, anything of that nature. Somebody say, Keys, well, listen, I don't want you wearing your crowns no more. We can't have that. You feel me? They saying, Keys, I want you to speak. Don't want you to speak about this political thing. Don't want you to say something about this person. We can't have that. I need freedom, right? So any deal that doesn't give me freedom is a bad deal, right? I don't mind working with people, giving away some equity. I think it's a problem that we don't have in our community, to where we share equity, to where we actually have loyalty to things that we own, right? There's a model in Japan, it's called a karatu, and the karatu model is, you may want to give up 4 to 5% of equity to multiple sources so that you all protect and you all are invested in each other, right? Because now I wouldn't want to see you fall. You understand me? Because I have a vested interest in you, right? And so in Japan, when they did this, it was different people in different verticals, right? One person may have a media platform, another person may have a product, one another person may have a distribution company, right? So imagine if all of those people have a small percentage of equity in each other, right? They're gonna be giving each other the best prices. So if something has happened in the industry, you won't have to worry about that. So I think that equity is something that we need to leverage within our community, and we need to be strategic about who we give it to, specifically so that it protects us and it serves us, but never give away so much to where you can't control yourself and your message.
Exactly. So when I reflect on that, I think of people like Kai, Drewski, a lot of these artists who are now doing it. Do you think this is like an upward trend? And what are some better ways that they can do it while still doing partnerships? You know, AMP, they had the tone, and they kind of got into Target. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like now they kind of have a little bit more leverage in their business than they would if they would just keep doing it themselves. You know what I'm saying?
So again, well, like Carson and them, it really depends on what their strategy is long term, right? With a lot of these things, you may give a little bit of leverage so that you can leverage that position that you now in, so that you can go do something else, right? Because you end up getting so big that you need a team, right? And you need a large team and infrastructure. So let's say that maybe they feel like, I can't afford to have the time to build a team. I would rather then leverage away some equity so that somebody else can build the infrastructure on the back end, so I can maintain my freedom of being a creative. Because at this point in time, they're an economy, right? When you have that amount of influence, you are an economy, to where you are influencing consumer habits of millions of people. That's hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars in some of those circumstances. So once you become that big, same thing in the NBA, you see somebody with $100 million contract, they are now $100 million business. So now you are in the business of how to manage that money. Now you have people that you have to hire, you have assets that you have to buy. So anytime you see growth in that industry, especially now with the streamers, right, they may become popular because they know how to gather attention. They know how to create narratives. They know how to run the streaming game. Doesn't mean they know anything about business outside of that. It doesn't mean that they know consumer products, CPG category, like what they have with the Ant brand. So now they got to bring in CEOs. They got to bring in chief technology officers, right? They have to bring in somebody that's doing booking. They have to bring in production companies. These are all a lot of different working pieces to that. Now, to somebody that is the person that is, let's say, the most qualified, will they come in and do that work for you? You understand me? Just getting a salary, or do they actually want to have equity in something that they build in because they can go somewhere else? So if you want to hire the best people in the world, most of the time you got to give up some equity, right? But the question becomes, how big do you want to be? And it was enough ever enough. Because you can build all that in-house, especially when you got revenue that's coming in. You making millions of dollars a month. You can reinvest that and then you can buy people. And I say buy people because that's what everybody else do. You understand me? So I think that, it goes to do different points. Like you can be the creative or you can be the operator. But if you go get an operator, they might need a really good salary, or you might have to get them equity so that they will work for it with the loyalty in mind that they're building for themselves as well.
So you already in here dropping some major keys, man. And with myself being 27, we're all about the same age. You know what I'm saying? I think you're about 10 years older than you. About unk status now.
I looked it up on the internet. It's a mystery.
I
I
ain't
can't-
older than you, man.
I think one of the things
Big
bro.
Don't put me closer to my 40s than I need to be. I ain't up there yet.
One of the things I admire about you, brother, is how you've been able to obtain, for lack of a better word, a high status while maintaining your morals and your values and what you stand on, especially being a part of the nation. How have you been able to do that without sacrificing, your integrity? Everything
Morals
you're doing, especially while doing everything at a high level and bringing people up at a high level who really don't care to join that wave, if you will. You know what I'm saying? So how do you do that?
Me, integrity is everything. You understand me? So it ain't nothing that I give up for it. All right. So the whole thing is, some people think about it in the sense to where there's an option. I don't have no other options. You know what I mean? Everything I do is because, again, it's like if somebody asks you how much are you willing to pay to be free? You know what I'm saying? Like, how much are you willing to give up to be free? Now, some people think that there's a cost that's too high for freedom, right? Because they don't know the difference between price and value. Freedom is invaluable, right? It costs so much when you're a slave to something, whether that's a paycheck, whether that's an expectation, right? Whether you give up a value for something you think is more valuable, then you start spending the rest of your life trying to get that back. You know what I mean? And you miserable and you depressed because alone the world looks at you like you some kind of superhero. But when you at home by yourself, you look like in the mirror like you ain't shit. You feel me? And this connection will make you feel like you nothing. So I'm willing to leave money on the table. You understand me? So I can respect the man at the table. You feel me? Speaking towards myself. So if it ain't in alignment with me, then I don't do it. It's just that simple. And we living in a day and age to where a man can utilize his mind and get anything done. He don't even really need people in that capacity that we used to. We don't need the gatekeeper. So fuck it. If I can't go through your gate, then I'm gonna make my own. You feel me? Like if y'all don't give me the deal, then I'm gonna create a product and I'm gonna put it on my media platform, and then I'm gonna create a funnel so that I can utilize my product to fund my media, right? Because now corporate said maybe they don't like the way I speak, then boom, forget it. Then I'm gonna take the same business model that corporate does, which they leverage podcasts and media to sell products after you get attention. So if you have a media and you have a podcast, then you also should have a product as well, or you should be partnered with some businesses. So outside of going through the corporate structure, I always just utilize my creative intelligence, because I can't be walking around telling you how great I am, talking about I'm a god, yet I can't use my mind to think of nothing intelligent beyond what the devil gives.
So I have another question. With us trying to build our blueprint to a high level of success and still maintain our values, what are 3 things you would say for the next 8 years of our life that we need to focus on? Three main things, 3 major keys.
Man, I would say number 1, self-investment. Yeah, I mean, y'all got to reinvest everything if you want to maintain control and integrity of everything, right? I got a business right now we running called Supermind. It's nootropics, adaptogen products.
I definitely got to try some of that.
And that one, I haven't paid myself yet at all, right? I haven't took a salary. I haven't taken anything. You know what I'm saying? The business has made money, but I have to reinvest everything in these early stages. You feel me? Which means that there's a sacrifice, because there's time, money, and energy I'm putting into it, right? The business is growing, but I'm not going to take anything out of it because it's not at a stage where it can sustain itself yet. And so are you willing to make that sacrifice, which would be number 2? You understand me? Yeah. And then the third one, of course, I think is loyalty. Right? Loyalty is number 1 above all. When you got a group, especially if you are, it's like 4 men in there, right? That's a tough situation, because you don't know when people want to get off. Meaning that, let's say y'all make y'all make a couple of $1 million. People start switching up when money gets into the play. And they don't even know how they go switch up. Let's say y'all start getting famous. You know what I mean? All of a sudden, everybody know your name, they calling your name. But then what happens in the group when they saying somebody else's name more than the other, right? Then there becomes this ego dynamic of saying like, damn, I thought I was the one, but the people chose you. Then you start adding women into that situation, right? Damn, they looking at you. They not looking at me. That's when envy, jealousy starts to happen in ego, right? So if the goal is to optimize on loyalty, or is it just to optimize on growth? Because if we're building this thing with loyalty in the center, then we have to change the way we build. See, in the Eastern model is saying that how do we keep this thing for the longest period of time? And Western model is how do we grow this thing to sell it, right? Completely different model. In the Eastern model, they say, how do we hire somebody to keep them here forever by getting them to become loyal to the system so that we're consistently making it comfortable for them to stay, right? And the Western model is a competition. We have a turnover rate very high of employees because it's not about loyalty to the system. It's about loyalty to the bottom line. You making me money or not, right? And so I think that if you all base your whole business model around having that loyalty and that sustainability, right, versus just thinking about the money and the scalability, right, then it'll change the way that you all form dynamics. But it got to be a code amongst you, right? No envy, no jealousy. You understand me? Y'all got to be able to handle conflict resolution as men amongst the group. Whatever happens in public, you got to address it in public. What happens in private, you address it in private. You understand me? You check your ego at the door. You check your envy at the door. This person may be better than you at something. It's okay. Bow down to that. You understand me? You may be better at them at something else. When you jealous, help that person. You can't do two things at once. You understand me? And so I think that you really want to optimize on, you know, self-investment, which is that reinvestment. You want to optimize on making sure that you're willing to make those sacrifices, right? And you want to make sure that there's loyalty within that group, because I can promise you this, in 8 years from now, if you're successful, yet the person that's to the left of you or to the right of you is not there, right? There's going to be some emptiness, right? Like there's lessons that every generation should be able to pass on to the next one. I have business groups that I work with. They no longer around. I don't even talk to them at all. We made millions of dollars together, right? But they had completely different ideas about what success was. They had different ideas about what value and integrity was, right? And so now I can't work with them at all. Won't utter their name. You understand me? And don't have respect for them, right? Maybe that was on me to be able to measure that beforehand, to make sure that our mission, vision, and values were aligned.
Yeah.
So if that mission, vision, and values ain't aligned, not for now, for long term, for when we successful, it's easy on the come up. Everybody want to come up. But when we get it, how do we behave then? And some men don't know that they got problems that they need to deal with, that jealousy go pop up because you ain't used to that kind of, you ain't used to the certain caliber of women looking at you. You ain't used to having certain popularities and narratives around you. Now you got outside people telling you the star. And they like, no, shut up. It's we. It ain't no me thing. It's a we thing. So you don't figure out balance. Balance that have you in that jealousy, envy. Well, you do one thing, I need to do one. No, harmony is when you have unequal parts working together. One band, one sound. So the goal ain't never no balance. That's gonna keep niggas jealous of each other. The goal is harmony. Don't matter if you out there and you in front and everybody see you shining, but you might be the drummer in the back. Somebody else playing the guitar, but the music sound good.
Let's talk about that. Play your role. Yeah.
That's real shit.
So if you see my brother Ben, he got the slacks on. It's episode 6.
Got all dressed up.
He ain't never wore no slacks on a podcast.
Had to get
He
right.
ain't never worn no
ITPs.
slacks in his
Had to
life.
get right.
He ain't never wore no slacks on a podcast.
Yeah, man.
Polo.
So I feel like he got something he want to say. He says he all dressed up and looking clean.
Yeah,
looking clean.
sharp.
my
Looking
brother.
sharp.
You know what I'm saying?
Looking
So
sharp.
Yeah, no, like Leek said in the beginning, he definitely introduced me to you. I didn't really know much about you or what you did, but he was always sending me videos of you and Minister Louis Farrakhan, and I would like, he'd be like, "Did you watch my video?" We get in fights about that all the time, like. But eventually, was one day he pulled up a video of you. It was like the difference between feminine and masculine energy. I just remember we were sitting in the car. It was like a 20-minute video. It was like a short video, but it was so powerful. Like just in the moment where I was in my life, just really like being more objective based, like, you know, and just doing things, putting your emotions aside and just taking care of business. So just wanted to say, you know, like a little shout out, you know, I appreciate what you do. And definitely your messages are reaching people, definitely reached me. So,
Sure.
you know.
Yeah, we definitely want to give you your flowers, man. We've been watching you for a long time, bro. So this is, like I said, a full circle moment, because I was like, bro, you know, just keep leveling up, and you can keep, the blessings are around the corners. You know what I'm
sir.
saying? So I look at this as a blessing that I get to talk to somebody that I've been looking up to for a long time. I would say looking up to for a minute. So
Big bro.
Being in the nation, I'm a nation baby as well. My full name is Khalik Muhammad. Grew up in the nation, be in the mosque. Wa alaikum salam. So my grandpa, he was one of the initiative members, what am I trying to say? Student ministers to start in Arizona. So he actually, Minister Louis Farrakhan actually gave us our name. Our name was Hajj. He gave us Muhammad. He actually tried to change my grandfather's name from Jackie because, you know, Yaqub, they didn't end up doing it, whatever like that. But being a part of the nation, I'm aware of knowledge of self, eating how to live. You know, everybody can't go. All these things, and when I reflect on that, I'm thinking about the Save Yourself tour, and you called it that for a reason. But I want to know, why did you call it that? How does that resonate with you, and why are you making it a tour out of it? Hold on, I can't. Your audio's off.
But we're in the era where we have no other choice, right? There's people right now, you know what I mean, that still making excuses about their life on where they not, right? Yet we live in an era where we're the most spoiled than ever. Almost everything is free to us now. We can watch a million shows and TV whenever we want to. We got AI where you can goddamn go make you a movie for pennies on a dollar if you want to, right? We can create a book if we want to, a business plan. I just vibe coded me an app the other day utilizing AI, something that was in my mind for the longest, right? Just made the app instantly. You understand me? I was able to take thought from my imagination and manifest it instantly. But what we're dealing with right now, with people having all these free things, we don't understand the value of something no more, right? And so we have a whole world, especially our people, highly capable, got a great mind, knowing that you got this great potential, but ain't got no goddamn capacity, right? And I look at it like this. You take your cell phone. You've had a moment in time where your phone don't have that much memory anymore, right? And when your phone maxes on memory, you can't even upload a picture. You understand me? It start tweaking. And then it tells you to go ahead and clean out some of the storage so you have to delete things that you don't use, right? Or if an update comes that you got to get more memory, or you have to plug it to a power source so that they can get an update. And we're basically have went through an update in the world, but most people don't have enough free space, enough bandwidth to utilize their own capabilities or to have access to the world. So now you know about the AI, but can you sit long enough to actually go through step by step to execute, right? It used to be maybe, you know, you come up with an idea, but do you have the resources to execute that idea? Now you got the resources. The problem is you don't have capacity to actually execute no more, right? And so you sitting at home, it ain't the white man that's your problem no more. You understand me? It's you sitting on that goddamn phone scrolling all day knowing you should have been executing, right? Now it's on you to save your goddamn self. But what is your protocol to save yourself? It goes into your rituals, how you eat, how you think, who you around, how you behave, right? It may seem like we living in a time where everything is, you know, of course we look at the news and we can see things are a grim reality, right? But things are gonna get a lot worse if people don't really pay attention to them. You got about a solid year before you get your shit together, right? You can't, how many people just watch cryptocurrency go up over the last 10 years? That was a very viable, you understand me, asset class to invest in. But you're so busy doing everything else that don't matter, because to this day, most of the things you did in the last 10 years ain't even a core memory that you remember. You understand me? Added no value, only took away from the people, the events, the places, the experiences. And so we haven't become a people, right, enough that invest in themselves. So therefore we can't reap the harvest. We supposed to be in harvest season, but we ain't invest. We ain't plant enough seeds, enough crops, right? So we're now in the 100-year anniversary of the rebuilding of Black Wall Street. right? And I say rebuilding because everybody talk about when they got burnt down, but shit, them black people back in the day, man, they rebuilt it a couple years later, and they threw a parade like we outside. You understand me? So we are very resilient as people, highly capable. We done built 60, 75 plus towns. We had to deal with red line and the devil's destroying our shit, but we now in a day and age to where we can do all of those things again, but with even more resources, more technology, more connection to each other, greater ability to communicate, to create systems, alternative institutions. But when will we actually do it? Are we just admiring the potential of it? Or do we actually come together and learn the skills to create the systems? So I've been able to create systems, right, so that don't require you to be motivated or willful. I was able to get those 70 plus million views because I know how to think and execute. That's it. No luck, no nothing to it. Not only do I know how to think and execute, I know how to network and I know how to utilize and command mastery of communication. I don't have to be relying on a machine to think for me. So this is the era where an institution will go save you. You was always supposed to assert yourself as a man and save your goddamn self. None of that shit go save you. You understand me? And smoking and drinking your problems away ain't gonna save you. Guess what? The problems gonna be there and they gonna be getting worse because you getting worse instead of getting better at handling them. So I'm putting us on a notice. Like either we get our shit together now or never. Yeah. It's now or never. This 30-year anniversary of the Million Man March, black men came together, a million plus. It was great atonement, but we missed out on the technological way. We didn't build no institutions. There ain't not a black man on this planet that can go hire 10,000 black people. You understand me? So we not even relying on each other. So I'm all about us getting power. I ain't with that black excellence shit. That's that boule. You understand me? Niggas want to just hop in the frats and plan to be talk about how they got jobs and raise money, all of that.
I think my brother Vaughn got a question for you. Though.
So kind of what you touched on right there kind of led me into something I already kind of wanted to ask you. So I've kind of, like I said, kept an eye on what you've been doing over the years. One of your more recent events, I've seen you with guys like Jaylen Brown, Vic Mensa. I've seen you do podcasts with Tabitha Brown. So speaking on what you just touched on, how important is it for celebrity and the messaging to intersect? You know what I'm saying? We can think back to the 80s and the 70s where a lot of our celebrities, a lot of our artists, a lot of our athletes, I think, specifically to NOI members, we got, why am I blinking on Rakim to Kareem to Hakeem, you know what I'm saying? All these, even outside of the NOI, civil leaders like Jim Brown, guys that were not only, we revered for what they did maybe in the booth or on the court or on the field, but now when they go home or when they're in political spaces, they took that chance to speak on mental health. They took that chance to speak on the black community. They took that chance to speak to us. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like how is important, so you touch on like, well, who's gonna be the next leader? Who can pay 15,000 people? Well, I got an idea. Like I said, Jaylen Brown can. You know what I'm saying? And I'm seeing like, guys like that where, okay, I got $500 million in my pocket. And over the next 5 to 10 years, it's another $500 million on the way. We're talking about now our athletes being billionaires. You know what I'm saying? It's different than Jim Brown. It's different than Kareem and what their resources were. So how important is it for those guys to come back, reach down, and pull us up? You know what I'm saying? Respect to your own celebrity, but Jaylen Brown and these NBA and NFL superstars are hip-hop superstars. That's another level of influence. You know what I'm saying? So how do you try to touch in with those guys, tap in with those guys, and continue to forward that message?
That's a good question.
Great question.
Shout out to my brother Jaylen. That's a very great question and a very real breakdown. Jaylen Brown is a very rare individual when it comes to this field, right? We've done several things together, and we do a lot of private planning on the back end. You understand me? And we have some things in works. Inshallah, that'll come into fruition very soon. But your question speaks to the heart of the reason why we are not making the type of progress that we think we should, right? Oftentimes we look at a leader and we look at them as this isolated individual and we ask, why aren't you doing more, right? The individual by themselves really can't do anything, right? They're similar to a protest. You bring awareness to a problem. Without the resources, the network, but more specifically, the word is intentionality, right? The intentionality speaks towards having, those who have the funds and the resources connected to the intellectuals, right? So therefore, the ideas right, that the philosophers or the intellectuals or the revolutionaries have can now be funded. But more than that, also you connect them to the media so that we're all sharing the same narrative. If we go back to Harlem Renaissance back in the early 1900s, right? How did that work out to where Black people had this period of time to where we was going through an economic boom, right? Our music was booming through the jazz, the arts was booming. You understand me? And Black people had this sense of self-dignity about where we was going in America. It wasn't by accident, right? You take somebody like W.E.B. Du Bois, he established an intellectual network behind the scenes so that we were all on the same page. Then he hit the HBCUs, he hit the campuses, because when you get the young people, those are the one that push the messages out there to further it, right? To make it something real. Today, you see somebody like Turning Point USA with Charlie Kirk. They are hitting all of the campuses because they're funding him behind the scenes. You understand me? So then you get somebody like W. Du Bois. He had the book, The New Negro. It showed Black men and women like, oh, this is the mindset. This is what we own moving forward. It became a catalyst that pushed it to a peak. Then they had the media platform, the Crisis Magazine. You understand me? To where anytime something happened to Black people, they was able to acknowledge it all. And then we had our own voice. So, of course, you had that around the same time as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Final Call newspaper and a multitude of other different things. There was this renaissance. Elijah Muhammad model was getting money directly from the people, right? And creating businesses that created infrastructure and job. He was the most successful Black leader of all time to do that. We just never talk about his blueprint, right? So fast forward that in today's time, culture is consciousness in motion, right? Meaning that we all have certain collective memories, right? All of us in this room, right, remember certain things about Black culture collectively that we believe. Everybody know about Black Wall Street. It was tore down. We all know about redlining. We all know about reparations, right? There's certain collective memories that we have. Sometimes those memories change as generations go forward because we grew up off Hollywood. The next one grew off social media. So we start to think different, and culture shifts based on that thinking. Right? Now, if we get into celebrities, what is their role? Right? Their role is to make sure that they're intentional in their position so that they're consistently pushing a higher culture. Somebody like Jaylen Brown, who is a futurist, who his brand is about independence and autonomy. Right? Today, the Big Three League is out here in LA. He went to the Big Three and he played in the game with Ice Cube. That is a league that threatens the NBA because they're in competition with anybody because they want to have a monopoly. Right? That means that he's doing something that's a sacrifice on the back end. You might not see him at odds with his own sports association, right? But when he's doing that, that's a sacrifice. Then I turn down Nike, I create my own shoe, right? So that I can control it and then show the next generation that's coming up under me, this is what we should do. He then takes somebody like that, who's the vice president of the Players Association, who advocates on behalf of the players, right, to be able to get more money and to get more rights and things of that nature, so that they not get shaken and played, and also understand financial intelligence and literacy, because that is the generation that has a lot of money, which my brother Kenan always says it's the unintended wealth group. You understand me? But that was billions of dollars. So if the celebrity does not connect with the intellectual, the one who has the ideas, the plans, then there is no culture because there's no intentionality on where things go. So yes, the road now is when I sit with people, I'm just at this point in time where I ain't really got no more patience. You understand me? Like, it's either now or never, to where either we building something or we bullshitting. And if we bullshitting, you my enemy. Understand me? If we building together, we friends. We good. You feel me? So anytime you see me next to somebody, it's because now I believe that we resonate on the same frequency, right? And here's the point in time that we in. It's not just us that's thinking like this. White men are having a revolutionary moment right now, right? White men are also having a save yourself moment right now. They tired of Black people. You understand?
They showing it.
And they showing it. And here's the thing. Black people got all this technology. We got all this social media. We got all these different leaders. You see a Umar out here. You see a RZA over here. You understand me? You see a 19 Keys over here. You see these platforms. But what are we doing together? So for them, their standpoint is like, y'all blaming us, but y'all free. Y'all free to work with each other. Y'all free to build with each other. Y'all celebrate these celebrities, but they don't give y'all nothing. Why y'all mad at us then? You understand me? And so they're almost justified because I'm tired of niggas too. So straight up, because if we don't save ourselves, then we deserve whatever happens to us. So I'm at that point where we calling out celebrities, athletes, entertainers. You feel me? Like you can't be talking about how bad Donald Trump and white supremacists and all these people are, but you ain't planning on doing shit. You just don't want things to be uncomfortable for you, but you want to stay in Master's house. Like, no, we ain't dealing with none of that. And most of them is soft, bent over, and tail tucked. You feel me? Ain't got no heart at all. Be afraid to stand next to you. Ain't got no real energy in person. You feel me? So it's up on all of us to call that out. But just know behind the scenes, because we don't talk about everything on the front. Just know behind the scenes, man. It's real movement right now. You feel me?
And I know, Von, we have another thing. I'm gonna let you take it over.
Is it that time already?
It's that time.
Uh-oh.
No, we
Can I answer your question?
Yeah,
No,
for sure,
that was
bro.
real
For
shit.
sure,
Yes,
for
that was
sure,
real
for
shit.
sure.
Yes.
I appreciate that already. Like I said, I've been wondering out for like
question,
the last couple of weeks, so I appreciate your answer, bro. I
They
think
gave a lot of them grace, but that grace period is over.
No, for sure, it's
get
gotta be,
grace.
dog. Like you
You
said,
can't
we
get
running
grace.
out of
Can't get
time.
grace.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
we don't got forever. It's not like you said it a couple of times.
My brother Lone, he say, man, how is it that you build an independent platform, get millions of views, right? Yet the guys who have the sauce as far as know how to put together the systems, the connection between all the ad platforms, right? Got all of the, I done got every single guest booking is because of I reached out to them. Nobody's ever got me a guest, did me a favor, put me on anything. So how is that possible that you got one of, and I'm gonna call myself as I am, one of your brightest thought leaders, you understand me, but ain't getting no resources or outside help, just a bunch of people watching. Doesn't make no sense. That's that lack of intentionality. So y'all are putting it all on me on what I'm capable of doing by myself, right? So we're not operating as a community and saying that, no, man, if 19 Keys is eloquent enough to get out there and speak the plan, teach the people in multiple fields and areas, what happens if we get behind that, right, and supercharge it? So now don't complain about 300,000 or however many black women that just lost jobs. Don't complain about young black men decreased college enrollment. You understand me? When there's black men showing you alternative path lines to be able to develop skills to produce jobs. I just had Yaki on. He just said he built a $10 million facility. You understand me? It's like, how is that not celebrated on every media channel in the world? Like, isn't that what you want black men to do, to go to their city, take their money instead of buying mansions and cars and selling you lifestyle and saying I'm him because of these things, but actually investing that to have a social good for the community? Like, that's why we doing this tour, is really to bring together the real ones to say that, look, we gonna do what we gonna do. Let everybody else fall and burn in Babylon that don't believe anything.
Save yourself. I'm pissed. We can't go to this one, but you will see us at one for sure.
Yes,
sure.
sir.
It's a time in our podcast where we do something special. I'm gonna let Von introduce it,
What up,
man.
everybody? What up, 19? This is a special part of our podcast. This is like our flagship little segment. We only got one, so it's real important to us. Lee told me bring the energy. This is our, hold on, everybody say it with me, mid or major already. So we got our mid or major segment. It's nothing too crazy, bro. We like to come in here, ruffle a little feathers, hot takes. I'm sure you got plenty of those. I've kept up with the content. You know what I'm saying? So if there's just any sort of unpopular opinion, any sort of hot take, something you believe really strongly that everybody might kind of look at you funny for at the cookout, you know what I'm saying, that you could share with us, and we gonna kind of poly about it, see how we feel about it, whether we think it's mid, whether we think it's major, and then we're gonna have everybody in the comments do the same thing. So is there anything that you could drop for us, anything sort of hot take,
No, it's on the
unpopular
spot.
opinion?
It is
I
on
know
the
it's on the
spot.
spot, a little last minute, but like I said, I know you're full of them, bro. We watch the content.
Man, I think the one I've been going with is Black Excellence is a scam.
That's heavy. Hold on. We ain't never had a heavy middle major.
Yeah, we just saying some bullshit.
Yeah, we be saying like
saying
chicken,
bullshit.
fried chicken.
A whole
Like
lot
we
of
be on
bullshit.
bullshit. That was a heavy one. Hold on. Expound on that for me.
That's funny.
Black Excellence is a scam that replaced Black Power. So in lieu of actually having real power, they gave us representation instead. Right? Instead of actually having businesses, we now celebrate people having jobs. You understand me? We'll celebrate a person raising money instead of making money and being able to control jobs and opportunities. Right? So this is what we have in our culture right now, where we're just celebrating people that do something good for themselves, but at the detriment of everybody else. So you can get the biggest gambling deal in the world, but that's terrible for the community. But because you made 100 million off of it, we celebrate it. That's Black excellence. You understand me? Black power was like the last real black power was when the Honorable Elijah Muhammad had his economic network, right? And I'm not saying that because I'm a Muslim. I'm saying that more so because I study history, right? Nobody had built a larger economy, right, around the U.S. than the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, as far as airplanes, aviation schools, trust, right, grocery stores, barbershops, you know what I mean, poultry farms, right? You name it. He had a whole entire ecosystem, universities all across, right? Nobody built that. Now, we complain about not having that model today, right? Then why we never taught it in schools?
Yeah.
They got the picture of the white dude in the Egyptian shit.
Yeah.
They got a picture of that dude.
Yeah.
You know, shit like,
They got the nigga hooping though.
They got a nigga hooping though. Like,
I love Malcolm X, but it's like, if you don't teach Honorable Elijah Muhammad, you're missing such a large piece of black history, right? And we think it never happened because we never learned about it. You understand me? And so we talk about Black Wall Street. Black Wall Street was 100 years ago. We got a much closer representation of a blueprint and saying that, okay, what if we remix that in today's time? But the CIA gave us Pan-Africanism as well, was another scam in a lot of ways, because they did that to get us to feel connected instead of having real power. When you got real power, you don't need politics unless you're doing lobbying, you telling them what to do. You understand me? So again, I believe black excellence, you know, replaced black power, and they scammed us all. And today, all we do is celebrate black excellence without power.
So I'm gonna go ahead and kick it off. I'm gonna say this is a major take because this is how I feel. This is kind of some of the things I believe in when I'm looking around, especially in Arizona. I coach, teach, and I coach at my local high school, and I'm seeing they're literally taking away teaching African slavery. They're taking it out. So for people, it's like we looking for different type of glorified things that make us feel good, and it ain't pushing us towards that. So I say it's a major.
It's like
take.
they're rewriting the history. Like
Yeah,
you said,
you know what I'm saying?
Black
And
power.
we happy that we got a little picture on a oatmeal box or some shit.
Right, like you said, like in
Happy Ralph Lauren did a collection at Oak Bluffs.
Yeah.
yeah.
McDonald deals and shit.
In 50 years,
Wheaties
we gonna
box.
really believe we really was we was just rappers and ball players.
Yeah.
Like that's what they want
Hip-hop.
us to think. They really want us to think like, no, y'all was just rappers and ball players.
Yeah.
Like they're rewriting the history. They're not teaching us that no, we've built infrastructure before. You know, they joke about it. We was kings, but like, no, nigga, we was really kings.
Yeah.
Like we really had economy. We really had, like he talked about. You know, I was saving my middle major for this one for a couple weeks, but I have a hot take. I've been said, segregation is one of the worst things that happen to black people.
Yeah.
Because it took away our power, like he talked about, and now we're celebrating excellence. We used to have our own farms. We used to have our own banks. Why? Because we couldn't go into the white towns. We had to have our own police forces. We had to have our own. We picked our own cotton, but we owned the field too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it was, and now, well, we sold it all. We made some money, put on a nice suit, and walked into
for
a
the
mansion.
mansion.
You know what I'm saying? It's like we sold away our ownership. We used to own shit, dog.
Yeah.
This whole narrative that niggas have never owned nothing in America, it's not true. It's not true.
I asked one of my players, I said, do y'all know who Mansa Musa is? They had
idea.
no clue.
No idea.
They had no
But so this is another valid point. A lot of and we a lot of times don't realize this. A lot of narrative that we've gotten was about what safe Christian man in this country did, right? Mansa Musa was the richest black Muslim to ever exist, but also the richest man to ever exist. But the fact that he was Muslim matters as well, because he built a black Muslim empire, right? When we talk about that intentionality, Mansa Musa is not the most important person in that story, right? It's the system that Mansa Musa was a part of, right? But he also was intentional of funding Timbuktu, which was these libraries that we had to make sure that it was an intellectual class of black people. Then behind him, there was a whole entire council that helped create that model so that he can control gold, right? So when we talk about these models, it's like you're celebrating, when anytime somebody's celebrating Mansa Musa, you're actually celebrating a black Muslim empire. You understand me? Don't get me wrong. There was Christian emperors like Emperor Axum, you understand me, who built out an empire for Ethiopians because they wasn't just following Christ, they was becoming Christ-like. You understand me? They weren't waiting for the kingdom of God, they was building the kingdom. You understand me? You have multiple versions of that in history, like with Lavator. You understand me? Yeah, he was Christian, but he utilized it in the capacity as warriorship. You know what I mean? Anytime the British tried to come in and invade, at Queen and Singer, it's like it goes on and on and on. But when you start talking about who we are, the reason Honorable Elijah Muhammad is stripped from it because he was a black Muslim, right? And the Christian church and the Christian leaders, right, are selective with history unless you're watered down and safe. Because the reality of it is, the Christian church is more friendly with Jewish people than they are black Muslims.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
So
That's a
I
fact.
think y'all all would agree
it's
this
all-
is a
it's
major
all
take.
major.
Is this
Yeah,
our
it's
first?
all major.
Hold on, you might have
Hey,
our first.
unanimous.
I gotta
Our
put a
first
ding
unanimous
in.
major.
Unanimous.
This might
That's
be
our
our
first
first
one.
unanimous
Yes, sir.
major take. Yeah.
And I
Like you said,
knew
we been
this
saying
was gonna
bullshit.
be Major Keys today, man. I told
Yeah.
we gotta come ready. This is Major Keys, man. I'm hyped up. I'm looking at the mirror and shit, man. I'm ready to go.
Doing my lines, rehearse
I'm
my
getting my
lines.
lines and shit,
He had his
man.
outfit on the bed last night. On me. First day of school
First
type
day of
shit.
school type
On
shit.
Nah.
me.
It is
So man,
crazy.
before we let you go, I know you got a busy schedule going on. We have something special because we can't make the tour.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're in
Each count.
Arizona, unfortunately. So we're gonna give away the tickets. We're gonna do something special. We're gonna announce it officially in our Instagram. We're not gonna make the rules on here, but I want to let you say kind of some final remarks on the tour. And if you help us out with this giveaway, man, what we're gonna do. I'll let you make up some of the 2-3 rules, and then we'll drop it like
for the
that
giveaway. Yeah.
for the giveaway.
H-Town.
Let's make it in connection to this show. Let's make it based on people that they have to share a clip from this show. You understand me? Tag both of us in it, and we can randomly pick what is it, 6 people? You understand me? That get tickets to the show. I think that they tag us, and maybe we can choose based on how many views the clip actually gets. So they got to make sure that they're picking the actual good clip from the episode.
That's
I like that. I like that. Let's rock it. Let's rock it. So 19 Keys, man. This was a blessing to have you on here from me from my guys.
Appreciate you,
sir.
bro.
I hope you have bro. I hope you have a blessed tour, a blessed journey that you're on, bro. We sending our flowers to you once again.
And salute.
Say something.
I'm a friend of the show, man. I look forward to my next time on.
That's
Already.
right.
gonna see you
Next time,
soon.
look,
We gonna see
the
you
next
soon.
time, bro, I want to set something up. Which, inshallah, bro, I can set something up to have you out here in Arizona. We throw an event. We have you for a live podcast, man, and we do it like that, bro.
Man, let's get it going.
Yes, sir.
sir.
Get to
Yes,
it.
sir. But nice
Stay
to meet you.
safe, family. Stay safe.
Peace,
Appreciate
bro.
you.
Peace.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Recording stopped.
Oh, shit.